Go now to dryerbuzz.com and follow at DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.
Good morning. It's a new day. I hope you have a new energy. I hope you have new ideas. I wish and pray for you new opportunities because that's your main reason it's time to get out of bed. Or you could be getting out of bed because you want to go be of service. You could be getting out of bed because you can't sleep no more. Some of us get out of bed because Dakota got to go pee. I learned that when I went to an awesome workshop that featured Jennifer Lewis, the mother of Black Hollywood, the star of Blackish. And she said, you've been in there too long and unproductive enough when you just got to go. Like you ain't, that has not been a part of your routine or your regimen for the day that you go to the bathroom. And a lot of us, that's how we wake up. It is what it is. Human nature, all this stuff that you are feeling right now, whether it's anxiety, depression, a little bit of fear, whether it's excitement, whether your adrenaline is going, you jumped out of bed because you're so excited about your day. Listen, you're going to run into human nature. You are running into human nature. Have you ever woke up and today is the day that the plan goes into action and you got this team, but then somebody on the team, they're a little bit off today, you know? We wake up each and every day needing everybody to be what we need them to be. We need it all to work out. We need it, but that's not life. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you. Ooh, she got rhymes today, y'all. I got bars today. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you for this thing called life. Today is another day. Thank you. Breath of life. Thank you, angels, that y'all walk by. That God said, listen, touch that one, listen. Touch us all. Touch somebody. Human touch. I was just thinking, I hung out with my cousin yesterday and I'm like, wait a minute. The human touch. We didn't do the things that humans need, and that is the human touch. And I'm like, I probably should have touched her. I should have touched her. We should have hugged each other. Because I remember going through, I was in the place where she is now. And that's taking care of our moms. Our moms are sisters. And you guys already know I went through the trauma of losing my mom in the caregiver space and so forth and so on. And that's just where my generation is at this point. And I remember, oh my God, I needed a touch. I needed a hug so bad. And it was just, and I'm pretty sure if I needed it, everybody around, but we've gotten away from that in this thing called life. We've just gotten away from it and it's not that we are mean like that. Life is just like that right now, Life is just like that. We're so busy. We're so out of touch with what we need. And let me turn this down. And that's oftentimes, that's just it. We get so overwhelmed because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, what do they need? What do they need? What do I need to offer? Because, people, you always go, if you need anything, let me know. And then we try to figure out, what do they need? What do they need? I don't know what to give. What do they need? And we get so overwhelmed with because we want to help. Human nature, you want to help. You want to help everybody. But we get so overwhelmed with thinking that we don't have what they need, is that we don't know what to offer. We don't offer, we can't offer, and so forth. So again, I know I had all that to say coming in here because I tell y'all, this is my first thoughts of the morning. I'm just waking up, the frogs in my throat. One eye open, barely got my glasses on. They on crooked, but they on, right? Running around trying to, I'm like, wait, both of the devices are fully charged this morning? What life is this, right? Connections working back here? I don't know. And I might need to go because, Periscope has just been not in our favor the last couple of days. And I see you guys coming in and coming out. But I keep saying I don't want to keep starting over. I don't want to. We had a whole week of start and stop. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start looking at that as that means just go ahead and get through it. Just go ahead and get through it. Go ahead and talk through it. It'll be on the platforms. Y'all can come back and do a replay. I don't have time for it. Right? That can't be my worry. It can't be my obstacle. It can't be my hurdle. Right? Even though I want to engage and so forth. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's pack it on up. Let's go ahead and get out of bed. There is something I can do. If there's something, and I'm about to give you that lesson. And here I am, stubborn enough, don't want to even do it myself. And that is go to the room in the house where I know I'm not having any problems, but I really don't feel like standing up. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down. Let's go. You know what? I need to probably go to the table. I never go to the table. Let me go to the table. let's go to the table here. Let's get in the workspace. One of the things I did the other day is I was on the laptop and bought the laptop. I'm like, let me get over here. I have a desk. I have a beautiful desk over here. And it's got all this amazing equipment on it. And I don't use it. I'm crunched up somewhere in a chair, a corner on my phone 24/7 doing all this stuff. And I finally broke out. I got the laptop. Y'all don't want to know how much equipment I use on this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even like all that stuff. Half of it I need to have updated because I had not worked in the space on this stuff in, oh my God, I don't know how long. Well, I do. I know exactly how long because you turn it on, it's still right where I left it. Don't you just love that about computers? I turned on a laptop and it was like, no, we need about 4 years of updates if you want this thing to work. And plus, it's a Microsoft environment situation, so you already know it ain't. Things are not copacetic. Look, I come in here. Here comes the dog. I don't understand why he has to be out. Yeah, out. I don't understand why he has to be in the exact same room. No, out. I didn't say go over there. I said out. That's life. He want human touch too. He ain't even human. I don't understand you, animal. Knowing I got to do this podcast, knowing I got to come on here and talk and share and so forth. And yeah, Periscope's not, and I know well, it's on, so I know we all relate. But listen, whenever there's one platform that's not working, we give you an alternative because we can't decide where the podcast right now is going to be taped live. And so we may move to another platform since this one wants to work sometime. But listen, you see that? See how I'm going to adapt? About something we talked about this week. I left my other, yesterday we talked about reason. We talked about reason. We talked about being overwhelmed. We talked about when you feel overwhelmed, how to take your day down to bite-sized morsels so that you can process it so that you don't turn back. That's it right there. Look, let's write it down. Don't turn back. Don't turn back. That's our next page, chapter. It's not even a chapter. That's our next answer. Don't turn back. Right? Because I know that's the easy thing. That's the comfort thing. That's the thing that we always want to do. Right? Turn back. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I got to go back. I got to go back because this is not working. So we got, if you're not getting us good and clear on Periscope, we have two alternatives for you. We have a Facebook page for how to get out of bed. So if you want to catch any of the podcasts that happen in a live environment, you can go over to Facebook. I'm going to go over here now and do a couple of shares on that. We also have it going on live on YouTube, where on our YouTube and on our Facebook, you get a chance, and on all the platforms. Now, if you have television, smart TV, smart speaker, smart devices, you could drop your phone and lean back and check this out on television. In fact, you should have a number of your friends and content that you support. You should be enjoying it in that environment. You notice when I go into the kitchen and I do my kitchen scope, I have a television that I watch. I particularly watch some of the shows in there. And sometimes because there's so many people running up through here, all over the place, somebody's always home. We move from one spot to another, and it's just insane. It's really insane. But that's what social media is for. And if you're a content creator or a business, you need to be prepared for that, because you'd be surprised where people are consuming what you are creating. And I'm speaking a lot of language on that because I am getting ready to bring our summer thing. One thing I've always done is spring into business activities and events, and they kick off in the spring and we go until about September. Give you a chance to give birth to something, right? So I'm excited because I have been asking, put it out into the universe, what's going to be good? What's going to be good? What am I going to like? What am I going to enjoy? What can I commit to? I always try to figure out what can I commit to? What is it that I can really commit to that I might like, that I might enjoy doing, and that what am I supposed to be doing? Are you like me? Do you wake up? I wake up with those kinds of questions, y'all. I literally do. I wake up with those kinds of questions, and I seek answers. That's the difference between, I have found that that's the difference between some of us and the rest of us. Some of us, I got to write that down because I've never heard that before. Some of us and the rest of us. Now, the rest of us, I heard, you know where I got the rest of us from? A billionaire. I got the rest of us from a billionaire. There's a billionaire running around. I'm not going to tell you what he's a billionaire from. The internet. Where else? AOL. Okay. Met this billionaire who started AOL. Okay. Through association. Remember, I tell you, everything comes through association. Everything. Y'all don't understand when I tell y'all that everything comes through association. It's about getting out of bed, being in the right place at the right time. I'm sitting there, and I went because there's a photo op day. People in town want to roll through this space. There was some co-working space. Oh, they want to roll through co-working space. They want to hear a couple people, see a couple pictures, right? Because they got all this money, and they know the next best thing's probably gonna come out of Atlanta. So they was rolling through it, and I met the young lady, and she and I still converse a time or two here on social media. She got an opportunity. She gave a pitch. It was about maybe 3 or 4 people gave a pitch in a room as these billionaires rolled through, and it was so funny because they were on their way, or so we thought they were on. We didn't know they had arrived because one thing about it. I'm gonna tell y'all. Let me tell you. Hold on. Let me hit the share button one more time because I really want them to get this. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna start a watch party. I hope you guys do the same. Right. One thing about the billionaire in the room, there are no obvious signs that there's a billionaire in the room. Okay, for those of y'all that are just coming in, as I shared, watch parties, welcome. Okay, there are no obvious signs that there's a billionaire in the room. You think there are, but there are no obvious. There are no obvious signs of the billionaires in the room. You can't tell them from anybody else. All right, because they're the quietest. They are, and they are they're the friendliest. They're conversing. You'll see them conversing with just anybody, right? Because they know that in order to sustain and maintain their level of lifestyle, that they've got to know what's going on. So they get quiet long enough, right? And when you do find out who they are, you don't find out what's because somebody said that's the billionaire. You find out just because you find out who they are because you get to hear this person has done this and they've done that and they've done this and they've done that, and the list just goes on and on and on. And if you're anybody that knows how to quantify, okay, not qualify, because we misqualify many people. You done misqualified the billionaire in the room several times because they weren't carrying the purse that you thought was the one that they didn't have on all the makeup. They probably had a bad weave, and I'm talking about women on that side. Or they probably just had on a button-down shirt, some regular dad slacks, right? Their favorite pair of shoes, which they wear every time they're making a money deal. Some crazy socks, all those misqualifiers or disqualifiers. Let me put it that way. It's not that you disqualified them, you misqualified them, right? So it ain't about but if you know how to quantify the work of people who show up. Remember we had a session where we talked about just showing up. We're talking about today, don't turn back. Don't turn back. Like I didn't turn back down the hall where I have no connection. I didn't turn back when I went to that networking event and like, okay, it's time for me to get back out there. And I went to that networking event and lo and behold, 2 speaking opportunities as well as a business opportunity came out of, right? Not to mention the reawakening of all these ideas that I have, right? Don't turn back. Don't turn back. Some of us and the rest of us. What did I say? I didn't finish writing it down. I wrote some of us and the rest of us in everything that we're doing. Some of us get it, the rest of us don't. Some of us get it, the rest of us don't. I don't know what I said. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you. I said that. Oh, I love that. Let me write that down too. I'm going to put that in the book. Y'all, what I'm writing down, not scare, prepare. My son told me that. My son told me that. He said, "Mom, we were talking one day, and I was getting ready to become one of those holified saints all up in the church. Like, baby, you need to go to church. We get to that age where we realize church is a thing." And he was like, "I don't want to go to that one." And I was like, "I just need to know you covered with the blood of Jesus. I just need to know you safe. I just need to. I said, "So you got to do things to make me comfortable." And he says, "And you got to do things that stop making me uncomfortable." He was like, "You got," and so we came to an agreement that I would give him my wisdom, but I would not give him all the wounds that I've had to endure in this battle of life, right? That I would just tell him, "Hey, listen, this is what I learned from that," and let him go with that part. Not how bad it hurt, not who hurt it, not who hurt me, not who disappointed who, and all that kind of stuff. Here's what I learned. That's all he wanted was, okay, what did you learn? And he's not the only one, because I have two, and I subscribe to numerology. So I have two kids with the exact same numerology. Myself and my oldest, we have the same numerology. And then we got Petty Betty in the middle, right? Petty Betty is in the middle of myself and my oldest and my two youngest. And then there's Petty Betty in the middle. You already see Petty Betty and I are like road dogs. So we got some kind of life plan together, right? So, and Petty Betty is like the balance. She's always the tiebreaker and everything, and all this. And she's the one that, okay, you took that too far. You going too far. Petty Betty is to pump your brakes, right? PB. She's Petty Betty and she's pumped your brakes, okay? And so we just know we took time in our family. And I hope you take time in your family. And that is to figure out, and I say this on all the different podcasts, take time to figure out who's who in the family. Who's better at what role? I mean, all the way down to in the kitchen. Who's better at what role? Who's better at finances? You have to know that, because if it's not you, get out the way. That's our thing. If it's not you, get out of the way. If we're having a discussion about finances and how we're gonna do this, that, and the other, if it's not you, you can't contribute. You don't have an opinion. Okay, it's not you. Get out of the way. Learn how to get out of the way. Don't turn back, but learn how to get out the way. I'm writing that down. We actually have a session, a podcast where we talk about get out the way. Sometimes you're just in the way. You're a little bit, you're too afraid to let what happens happen, right? You're too scared, or you may be too prepared. Sometimes we can be too prepared. You've seen it before, but you haven't seen it this time with this team, with this person of this courage, and it's not and if you're trying to warn somebody they're about to make a mistake, on the other side is a dead end or a cliff, that's fine. But be ready to articulate that without all these other things on it that would help them misqualify or disqualify. Like I said, it's hard to tell the billionaire in the room. And I have been in certain situations, and I have been in many situations over my lifetime, especially in community service and especially in blogging. I will tell y'all, one time I was having this event, and it was a particular event, and a very particular individual was coming. And y'all know I try not to drop names, because I know y'all are misqualified and disqualified even if I did drop names. Okay, President Carter was coming by. Okay, he was a former president at the time. He was coming by this event I was having for women. Because if you don't know, the Carter Center is real big on mental health, right? Health, period, because the man is still alive, okay? And so I was having this event for women and their mental health. And days, knowing that what you don't understand, and what Michelle Obama said, what you don't understand is, even for them to make the decision that somebody of certain stature will come through, will roll through, people would have been that way weeks prior, right? So I had been checked out, sort of say. And I remember there was these gentlemen around lingering, loitering, and all that kind of stuff. And I needed these boxes off the top shelf, because we were preparing the center for setting up. We were setting up. And I remember telling this gentleman, because if there's a guy around, I'm going to put him to work. I'm like, you're not going to stand there and watch me try to get this box down. And I just like politely, can you reach this box for me? And then he gratefully did that with a smile. Okay. So I was like, oh, well, put it over here. And then he was like, anything else you need? Okay, let's do this, do that. Do that. And later on, kind of find out, girl, that was Secret Service. I'm like, oh, but he was wanting to help, right? He probably needed to know what was in that box more than I did. But Those things happen. Like I said, you don't know. Stop misqualifying. We didn't write that down. That should be our thing, y'all. Stop misqualifying and stop disqualifying people. Because if you are somewhere right now, I'm going to write that down to disqualifying. If you are somewhere right now, I guarantee you, if you still breathing, you have a regret or two of a situation that you did not. I'm gonna jump over here and check on another platform. You have a situation or two that you misjudged, that you really wish you said something different, you done something different, you acted on a different behavior that you I guarantee I can almost guarantee this, right? I can guarantee it because that's what we do. That's what we do. And it starts when we get out of bed. Because the day that you get out of bed, the time that you get out of bed, how you get out of bed, whether you had enough rest, whether it's just in your DNA that that's what you do. Doubt might be in your DNA, right? Misjudging, misqualifying, disqualifying, disquantifying, misquantifying could be in your DNA. It's something you do. You make those mistakes each and every day over and over and over again because you have not reached that point in life where you are ready to change that behavior. Okay? Because you got to get to a point, like right now, I just changed my behavior. I'm going to get out of bed and sit at the table because this podcast is called How to Get Out of Bed because I used to roll over and hit this button and do it right there from under the covers. And I said, this spring is time for us to evolve, y'all. It's time for us to evolve. I want to come on and tell you I'm out of bed. Here I am now. I'm sitting at the dining room table and I'm like, I can't even know how to say it because I rarely make it this far. I rarely make it this far. I've been through some stuff. I rarely make it this far. So this is accomplishment. Give me an applause, okay? I'm just saying, right? And from here, I'm only gonna get more and more productive because I'm looking at the laptop. I'm like, I gotta work, and I'm binging also on a television show, and I'm so mad I started watching because it's a show where the people it's like every episode their hope just gets snatched, and I can't stand it, and I need not watch it anymore because I know I can't do nothing about it because I know that it is a show that's only financed because it snatches the daggone hope. But everybody wants to watch it because it's just a production, by a black female and running. It's like, but this ain't what we want. This ain't what we want. And I know it's a lot of people at work, and I know it's put a lot of people to work and gave a lot of people jobs, but I need some of y'all to stop rolling up on that just because it's a job, just because you can pay those bills and things like that. It's detrimental. I'm like, a lot of the things that were a success for us as far as content was content that gave us hope. So you're going to give us a show. You over there making all these other cultures and ethnicities absolutely laugh all day. They get to cheer themselves on and this, that, and the other. But then you giving us a piece that snatching hope. We got to wait. Damn, when is a truck going to roll over here? Somebody please shoot. I'm like, I don't want to have those thoughts. I'm like, damn, he in this episode too? He didn't die? I'm like, really? I'm not trying to watch. I don't want to wake up and run to my television hoping all these bad things happen to these people that can't get it and they keep making their behaviors won't change. They keep making these same bad habits. And what he say, 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. And I'm like, okay, well, get rid of half those people around you. Right? And stop wishing that everybody, one of the characters who I can tell is a main character, hopefully he survived to the end. He's just that guy. He's like, he can't do nothing. Every day somebody has to give him a motivational speech. And I understand he went through some trauma. I understand it. It's life. We go through some trauma. I needed a motivation. I probably had one yesterday or had to give one yesterday. It's human nature. I understand, but that doesn't mean that we can't be upset about it. It doesn't mean that we can't say, man, this has got to stop. What if nobody's there to give it to you? What if nobody's there to give you? What if I'm not here to tell you how to get out of bed? Is that the day you stay in bed? Is that the day you give up? Is it you give up every day? Is that what we do? I do how to get out of bed each and every day because because somebody needs it today. I'm hoping the same person don't need it. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Because I'm not one of those bishops and preachers and wait. You need this every Sunday. You didn't last Sunday wasn't enough inspiration for you. I had one of the quote unquote mega preachers not tell me that I was in the room. And when I'm in the room, I think people are talking to me. I mean, if I'm in the room, you're speaking, I think you're talking to me. So I feel like I was having that conversation. But they said we were talking about, again, mental health and depression, particularly women, specifically black women. And they were talking about, what black women go through. And this preacher set up, and we were talking about depression and anxiety. And we were talking about the reading of a freaking play. And I questioned the play. Y'all hear about this story all the time if you never have. And I was like, okay, well, where's the happy? You got 13 characters. Where's the happy woman? Just like for color girls. It's like, okay, where's the woman that's going to save them all? I just want to know, because I'll take that role. I will take that. I audition for that role each and every day. I don't care how down I get. There's some days I want to say, screw everybody. And believe me, I know how to jack up everybody. I'm a Scorpio. Okay? I know how to pull the rug from under you. I just don't do it. I'm just saying. Scorpions, we hold the vengeance for dear life. If you have ever in this life wiped the smile from upon my face, even if I did not let it bend into a frown, it's still there. I just did not let you see it. Doesn't mean that I'm not plotting. And I would have to pray that away each and every day. I have to atone for that. I'm not walking through town like Cersei for y'all Game of Thrones. But it's there. I try to keep it dormant. But like I said, if you have ever in your life wiped the smile from upon my face and I did not let it bend into a frown, doesn't mean I don't remember. Right? I'm just and I'm not even forgiving. That's a behavior I still would like to feel. And I have, and to some degree, I've realized, but there comes what I have learned is you get time to forgive. That's the blessing of being humans on this earth, is we are given moments. That moment of forgiveness, it's gonna come. You ain't got to rush it. We ain't got to rush it. Take time and process. Even the Dalai Lama said, forgiveness, it's a thing, but don't put yourself back in that situation where you must always be the one forgiving. Stop it. He just said it in one of the books. He has a book over there on forgiveness. And he was talking, he and Desmond Tutu has this book. And I think Desmond Tutu kind of disagreed a little bit on it. But, Dalai Lama is like, listen, I live in exile, okay? I don't even get to live in my homeland, right? I'm just as called as anybody else. And but I'm here to tell these people something a little bit different. So I'm here to tell you a little bit something different today. I'm telling you, don't turn back. I'm telling you that, some of us, there's a thing called some of us, there's a thing called the rest of us. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you. I'm telling you, if it's not your thing today, just get out the way. Don't misqualify. Don't disqualify. And then at the bottom of that, I've got behavior. That's the behavior. It's a choice. It's a decision, right? It's in your DNA, but you don't have to expose it. You don't have to explore it. You don't have to let it come out. There are certain places, many places and times and things like that, where you don't have to let this stuff come out. Like I said, I'm a Scorpio. People probably go, whoa, she's a Scorpio. I didn't really know. It's not for you to know. Everything is for you to know. Everything is not for you to know, especially not right now, because maybe you're at a point in your life where you can't necessarily embrace it, the knowing, right? Because I learn something new every day, because I make sure I keep people around me that are a whole lot smarter than me. And they pour into it, and they're like, and I pick up those. That's why I keep a journal. Everywhere I look, there's a book and a pen. I might have umpteen thousand devices or this, that, and the other, but everywhere within my reach, everywhere I go in my spaces, there's a book and a pen. In the car, there's a book and a pen. Because I would drop my phone in a minute and write some stuff down, because writing it down commits it to my mind. All these sheets in this journal that I have written about these podcasts, I can remember, I can flip these pages in my mind. That's why I still love writing. That's why I still love long form writing. That's why I still love writing books and publishing, which you can also get all of those over at Amazon. Just look up the name Yolanda with an A, and you'll see all of the things that I have written in these couple of books that I'm working on right now. I'm working on a book, I can't say the title, but it's called F for Memoir. Shit Happens to Real People. That's one. And then I'm also taking some recipes that I have played around with in the kitchen. I'm going to put that in something, and I actually have to have all that done. I've got a deadline about October where I will be in, where are we going? I think we're going to DC or Maryland, one of those, for Blogger Week, which I'm getting ready, working with a friend to put together some ideas. We've done it. Talk about opportunities will wait. Opportunities wait. We did it 4 years ago, and every year he's like, "You ready to go back? You ready to get back? You ready to get back?" And this year I said yes. He was like, "Yes." So we're getting ready to do that. Also, what else? Oh, I said 9 days out. I keep saying 9 days. I just lost 2 days, so that's 7 days out. Okay, 7 days out. What's today? What's today? I don't even know. I can see today. I think it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. On starting next Sunday. Next Sunday, I will be opening the agency, which is the workshop, where I'm going to have some workshops, and I don't want to say particularly right now until I can put the image in front of you, but I will be offering workshops that are going to be, there's three. One is for business, one is for, well, you'll have four opportunities of which to grow. One is, what did I say? Business, specifically one for vendors, streaming, yes, streaming, live streaming, where you get to come and really learn how to live stream, but learn to live stream the product that you need to get out. And then also there's some specialty one-on-ones. And so that's one of the things I'm working on. And you'll see that if you're on the email list, you'll get that information. If you follow us on social media, you know that you will see that as well. And this is the culmination of 17 years of blogging, 2 and 3 decades of being out here on social media, helping businesses use social media for business. Where at the end of the day, it's a little bit. There's other things looming besides the analytics, the reach, the likes, the follows. At the end of the day, it's about keeping your business in business, keeping yourself in business, and so that's what that's about. So let me look at the time and see we're right at the 30 mark. We usually go somewhere between the 30 and the 45. Just encourage you today, don't turn back. And I was going to write something else up there. Did I say it? There's some of us and the rest of us. Some of us and the rest of us. And if you want to break that down, because you know I love numbers, 60% is the rest of us. 30% is the sum of us. And you can do that. Some of us, I hope you wrote it down, SUM, the sum total, right? The sum total, some of us. Because there's some, SOM. Some of us are about the sum, SUM. Write that down. Some of us are about the sum, SUM. Okay, all right. The rest of us, we don't know what they're about. So that's six. I keep that 60, 30, 10. If you imagine if you were doing a race, and I'm going to be at a race coming up July 4th. I'm always out photographing and live streaming the Peachtree Road Race, which is an amazing event. I love watching the Peachtree Road Race in Atlanta because there's absolutely nothing that happens in Atlanta where you get to watch your city go by and all of the amazing making of this city, ethnicities, genders. I love the costumes, hair, the runners with the big hair, just the camaraderie, the families. There's no other time in this city that you get to see that. Everything else all year long, it's compartmentalized based on, y'all, I just found a real comfortable way to sit in this chair. Could y'all tell that I lean back? I love a lean back moment. I lean back, put my feet up. I'm like, whoa, what is this? What is this podcast moment? But there is nothing, and no affiliation. I have never in my life submitted credentials, media credentials. They don't even know that I exist, except for when they go to try to probably Google their race, and they're like, who is she? That's usually what'll happen. Because I'm just not a permission-seeking kind of person, because they will probably say no. If I was to submit credentials, and a lot of y'all be like, Drivers, are you covering this? Are you going to this and that and the other? What you don't understand is I don't ask because most things will say no. Because they require that I put myself in a box, and if I was to ask for the credentials, are you coming to cover the black women? The black children, the black families. No, I'm just coming to cover Atlanta. They don't understand it, so I don't ask for credentials. I really don't. Because media is about boxes, and I don't give a damn about your boxes. Okay, I haven't been doing this for 17 years in a box. If I want to wake up today and I want to talk about people who just look toward the sun, okay. If I want to talk about people who just dig holes, I that's what I want to talk about, right? And here's my editorial schedule on that. If you fit, you seek me out. Right? You invite me, and I get enough invitations at this point in time from day one. I get enough invitations where I don't have to go and beg anybody to be at anything, and that's just not what I'm going to do. And now I done got old and bitter about it, so now you really don't want me you really don't want to tell me what your procedure and protocol is because I don't give a damn. I just don't. I done got old now, honey. Back 17 years ago, when I might have thought there was a bit of influence going through your hoops and your ropes and all that other kind of stuff, and it's like, no, not today. Y'all, that's another Game of Thrones. Even though she got it from hang on, we ain't gonna go with the appropriation, but anyway, okay, the girl on this show that got the ghetto spelling name. Like how y'all get Aria out of all of that? Okay. Oh, now it's okay to substitute the I for a Y, the Y for an I. Oh, okay. But when the black girl put it on her resume, you had see that right there. I probably had a sponsor sitting over there like, oh man, we got to put some money behind this, right? And then I went there. That's what I do. That's why I'm able to say 17 years self-sustaining. So when thoughts like that well up, I can allow them to spread their roots and branch on out and come on up out of me, y'all. I can allow those kinds of things. I'm like Aria. That's the Arya, right? I thought we went back to phonetics. I thought we weren't going to do any kind of. You mean to tell me, oh, it's okay in this fictitious show, it's okay to have that kind of name, but black folk can't put it on their resume. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. And if ain't nobody else called it out, I'm sorry to be the one to call it out. Back over here. Sorry, guys, on let me see, Periscope. I was on another platform. I'm just saying. But see, somebody needs to hear that kind of courage. Somebody needs to have that kind of wisdom. Somebody needs to know about being self-sustaining because they can't get out of bed because they think that somebody else is supposed to be pouring into them. If you can't do it for yourself, nobody else is going to see it. I got out of bed and do the podcast. I got out of bed. Oh, there we go. Artist is over there. Hey, artist. I got out of bed and did this podcast. Ain't nothing but a guardian angel walked up through here, shook me, woke me. Ain't nobody called, no alarm went off, none of that, right? It's like, hey, I need you one more day. Come on, go. Podcast. What's the first thing I have to do each and every morning? Yeah, I would love some breakfast. Sometimes Patty Betty will roll up with some breakfast. The dog is like, oh wait, and I got to wait on her. We can't even go do the walk. You see him? I told him go on back in that room. He went right on back in that room, right? If you can't get out of bed, don't get out of bed. What can you do right there? I literally came up with how to get out of bed podcast. I'm like, I can't get out of bed yet. What can I do right here? Well, you always on your phone right here. Why not just push the button? You're always having this conversation with yourself. Why not just do it in public? I'm that kind of person. I could do it I could do a whole lot in public, and I don't have to worry about those things. I'm just saying, you are worthy. You are valuable to somebody. It first should be yourself. Somebody's watching. You never know who's watching. Somebody's watching, trying to figure out how you're gonna come through. They know people know what you're going through. Because they're going through it too. Because you know how they know? It's familiar. It's familiar. You know how somebody will only complain about something you're doing because it's familiar. You done triggered something in them as I sip my lemonade. Right? They see it. They saw you leap over that hole where you were supposed to fall in because they fell in it. And they knew how long it took them to come out. And they're like, wait, did you just jump? That's the thing? You just leaped over that? That's the thing. You're not gonna fall in and go through all that trauma, right? I had somebody tell me, listen, we leap over these things. What are you doing wallowing in that hole over there? No, we leap over these things. Here's how you come out of that. But it took a specific language because the rest of us have that same conversation. See that the some of us and the rest of us. And notice any conversation I'm having, the only people I'm not talking about is the 10%. The only people I'm not talking about is 10% because 10% done figured it out. And you know what? 10% people love to complain about the 1% and the 10%. Like the 1%. And let's break this down. I'm gonna give y'all some more math. Okay, out of the 10%, you got the 9% and you got the 1%, right? We always talk about the 1% and the 99%, but that's not how this thing breaks down. It's 60%, 30%, 9%, and 1%. Of that 10%, 9% is still concerned about the some of us, right? They're still concerned about the rest of us. And they keep trying to tell the rest of us. See, when that billionaire, when he walked in that room, the actual name, I'm like, dude, you're a billionaire. Why are you concerned? And I didn't say that to him, right? I'm just thinking, right? You done made it, quote unquote, a billionaire. And he started a program. You can go and look this program up because it's out there giving away a whole lot of money for all kind of stuff. He started a program called The Rest of Us. Now, he came way before Mark Zuckerberg and way before Tom over at MySpace and way before our guy, what's his name, that was at Black Planet and all that. Oh, my God, I'm sorry I don't remember the black guy's name, but it was 30 years ago. Omar, I believe it was Omar. Please tell me, somebody look up the person that was the face of Black Planet. There was a guy, there was him, and then there was a guy who actually came up with the code that everybody else is using. It was a brother. So, they were like telling them, no, you can't do this. You can't have a place over here with just black people, even though everybody was on it. It was just called Black Planet, right? And even though, and then everybody was like shaming it. Why are you over there? Because, black people came online and we didn't want to do all the crazy stuff that everybody else was doing on here, like the porn, and all the religious stuff, the cult stuff. It was cult and porn. Those are the main two that were, and hate. Cult, porn, and hate. And black people like, we ain't about all that. We need to connect the diaspora. We still trying to give us free, right? And everybody started shaming it because it was a black thing, because that's what we do. We attach shame to everything black. And then Tom, he was like, oh, wait, Black Planet got y'all over there coding your own pages and things like that. Maybe you might want to come over here on this larger platform with some diversity or be around everybody else. So as you do all the time, leave your own and come over here. And then, and then Mark Zuckerberg came and stole everybody. But then there was another couple of platforms in between that were much better than all this kind of stuff. So, but anyway, that's just some tech history. And when you've been around long enough, you get old and bitter like I am. You sit on your porch and you talk about everything the way it used to be. I'm headed there. I'm sorry. But anyway, where was I going? Okay, so the billionaire in the room started the program called Rest of Us. He literally started an initiative called The Rest of Us. And he found a couple other billionaires. He's like, well, let's go help the rest of us. We got enough. They're in that 10%, there are 9% of them are thinking they got enough. So they out there just giving away money. Like Oprah, she's in the 9%. She's not in the 1%. Because the 1%, like, I'd be damn. It took everything I had to get away from these folk, right? I'd be damn if y'all was going to tell me to go get my billions back, right? So in that 9%, these are the people out here talking about, they just living off their dividends. They just giving away all this money because, they making it back every hour, right? So they ain't got no, they give away the prescribed tax amount and, they just keep helping, but they literally want to see others. They like, y'all, and they go and they write these books. They have these symposiums and they say, y'all, this is what I did. But you don't understand. That was meant for you to do that. Everybody can't do that. Can you imagine we were all out here billionaires? It's some of us was all of us. All of us, write that down. That's what we're talking. We're talking about all of us. All right. And then all of us. I'm going to put all of us. And I'm going to put 60, 30, 9, and 1%. That's 100, if ever I could add. No, it ain't. I'm missing something, right? No, 10%. Okay, got it. That I can add. Okay, my math teacher just fainted, but that's okay. She's old. She's older than I am. But anyway, I can add 60, 30, that's 90, and 9, and 10, 1, that's 10. Okay, hey, Debbie Mac coming in. All right, so the 10 top one, the 1% is who everybody's fighting. We think that the 1% has done everything wrong. But honey, let me tell you, I love the 1% because I'm in the 30%. And I may not even be in the 30%. There's some things that qualify me to be in the 30%. There's some things that quantify me to be in the 60%. But the awareness, or what y'all like to call my wokeness, keeps me in the 30%. My wokeness and my association can have me I hang out with the 9%, right? There's a lot that disqualifies me to be anywhere near this 9%. But because of my level of service, I end up in the room with the 9% all the time, with the billionaires, right? And they literally come to me. They're like, "Okay, Yolanda, we want to do this." I mean, because I'm sorry, if you go Google how to do this stuff, I'm gonna come up, right? And so they'll come. They want to do something charitable. They need an organization. They want to do this, that, and the other. And they ask somebody, "Well, who do we know?" And they go like, "Oh yeah, let's." Is she in a good mood today though? Yeah. Go check a podcast real quick, see if we can bring her in. Right? I will never forget. I went to an event. Not to drop names. I went to an event and a particular group was having conversations about a conference call that had happened in Washington D.C. And the guy, when he went to introduce me, and this happens a lot, he said, "I'd like for you to meet," and he said my name. He goes, "Oh yeah, we've heard about you." And I'm like, and I don't like hearing that if there haven't been any kind of outcomes that it depends on the outcome. Like what was the conversation, and did I reap any rewards from it, right? What was the outcome of you hearing about me? And then he goes, "Yes, I'm told that with what we want to do in Atlanta, we need to have you on board. Yeah, you do. Otherwise, I'm going to tell everybody to stay the hell away from you." Bottom line, right? So don't turn back. Let's go back to how we got out of bed. Let's check our time clock. 3 minutes over on that. Don't turn back. Know that in what you have to achieve today, because we're going to break it down just today. What you have to achieve and getting out of bed today, okay? You don't want to encounter all of us, right? Figure out, what you have to do today only requires some of us. Have you ever been in a conversation with people and y'all are getting ready to try to do something and somebody comes in there talking about everybody? Everybody is not a thing. It's never a thing. You're not going to get everybody, right? Look how many of us done sat here and binged on Game of Thrones. Y'all been watching Game of Thrones since 2011, I think this thing came out. Right here, y'all on the last season. Everybody and the rest of us, me, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start at season 1, episode 1, see how fast I can catch up. Only so I can talk about this thing that y'all watching. Hopefully I enjoy it as much as you do. And here I am. You don't watch it. I'm sitting over here like, wait a minute. Why is this girl named Arya? Right? And you done shamed Pookie Jr. about using Y's instead of I's. Right? Get mad at me because I used the E instead of I. Out there telling black women they can't get jobs because they want to have unique names when we come from a continent where damn everything is unique and we just basically phonetically trying to get back to who we are. But yeah, Cersei, the woman named Cersei, spell it. Right, can't nobody spell it. Thank God for autocorrect. I'm like, really? John, where's your H? Where's the H in his name? Why is it Jon? Right, oh, but that's right, that's correct. Y'all like, wait, Drivers, you watch 8 seasons. You binged on 8 seasons. And this is what you come up with. Daenerys, the woman name is Daenerys with 16 damn letters in it. And y'all ain't, I'm like, I'm sorry. This is the one thing that my son complains about. Why are the names of these people triggering something in you, Mom? Because I'm a black girl with a name where letters have been substituted, and I took hell for it all my life. I got an apostrophe in my name. I'm from a generation, we have apostrophes in our name. I can't tell you how many times people will try to say, you might not want to put that on your resume. The hell? Okay. What do you mean? I have to this very day say I'm Yolanda with an A. And a friend of mine started saying that. And one of my mentors, Griff, shout out to Griff. He was like, "Oh, Yolanda with an A, right? Because otherwise y'all will be YOL. I don't even know how to spell that. Why that YOL? I'm sorry. Let me not shame the rest of us who have YOLANDA. Because some of us has YA. Ya. Don't call me Yo-Yo. It's Ya. And don't even call me Ya because that ain't even what I go by. But it's Ya, not Yo-Yo, right? And the A in my name committed me to a life of service because I subscribe to numerology. And if you break down a name, changing the letters in your child's name, and look this up before y'all go putting it on the birth certificate if you want to subscribe to how the life patterns work, the universe works, okay, before you go put order on the birth certificate, please go and look it up, right? People want to know how your son got all those names. Well, have you met my son? He needs them all, okay? Right. You want so that you will never misqualify or misquantify him, right? So you got to, I'm telling y'all, this thing, that circle, that moon and sun going past us in that 24-hour period, it means a thing. I'm going to break it down. I got some spaghetti sauce in the fridge. And I said, you know what? This sauce, when I made it yesterday, I'm like, this sauce is good. But the moon needs to go past it. People like, what on earth is she talking about? The same way the whole of a universe, the flowers that close up at night. You know, there's a thing that happens in our universe, and if you've never taken time to watch it, I used to as a child because my grandparents were attached to nature, right? Gardening and all those kinds of things. And I used to each and every day watch the flowers and the trees. And my grandfather used to have these hedges and things that he was very proud of. He was very proud of his front yard. And he'd get out there. It was in solitude. You know, he had all these children and all these grandchildren, and nobody technically, you know, when he went out in the yard, you know, that granddad's in the yard, y'all. We had this thing wherever granddaddy was, you would go the other way. Don't bother him. Because he had all these children who had all these children. So he always had a bunch of grandchildren everywhere. Wait, you got all this from watching? I got all that from watching Game of Thrones because I look at stuff differently. Yes. She's like, you got all that from watching Game of Thrones? I got all that from watching every season of Game of Thrones. People are like, wait, did you see so-and-so get stabbed? No, because I was stuck. I'm stuck over here. I'm trying to figure this thing out, you know? So I might have to go watch it again. And I oftentimes do. But my grandfather, I remember when he planted the hedges, and he loved the hedges. And he had one hedge in the center of the yard, huge bush. He actually carved it. Talk about a throne. Hell, damn, hallelujah. I'm sorry, granddaddy. Hallelujah. Won't he do it? My grandfather carved a freaking throne in the front yard, y'all. My cousins was like, what? Yes. Y'all, everybody in the neighborhood. My grandfather had this huge bush in the middle of the front yard. He had this design, you know, that he did. Like there was a row of hedges at the driveway. There was a row of hedges across the front porch. There was a row of hedges that went down the side. There was our neighbor had a Fitz and a crazy dog. And my grandfather put some hedges there. He got tired of seeing that damn dog run up and down because, you know, he had all these grandkids. And so therefore all the neighborhood kids, you know, his house was the thing. He built the boys. He ended up taking it from the boys, giving it to the girls. But he built this clubhouse in the backyard. My grandmother, she had a 3-tier garden. This man served his family, y'all. We had a 3-tier garden in the backyard and still room to play. Y'all play over here. She gardens over here. The dogs, he had the hounds because they would go hunting. The dogs have this. Here's a clubhouse. You know, and you had a walking path, you had a trail that went up to the school. We can go through there and all this kind of stuff. Everything about it was, y'all take y'all asses outside. Okay. Get up, get out, right? You woke, okay, put your clothes on, going outside. That was every day. You're not gonna be up in here with that noise. Because the one regret we ever had playing in the house was my grandfather wore overalls and these huge boots. And if you ever heard the boot, he had a recliner. If you ever heard that recliner come up and that boot hit the floor, hardwood floors, so you already know. If you were still around by the time he made it 3 steps, you were done for. You were done for. You don't you move. Don't be the last one to get out that door, and don't let the door slam. Whoever let the door slam, you got to go back in there and deal with it. You got to deal, so you don't want to be the last. But you can hear that boot hit the floor. It would echo. I don't care how loud we were. You heard it and you felt it. He coming down that hall. You done got him up. It's time to go outside. Don't come back till it's time to go to bed. I'm just saying. I might call you in to eat, right? But I was just thinking about that. Oh my God! And don't think I ain't got a picture. I'm gonna go find. I have not even unpacked the photos. I have not unpacked the photos. I haven't been able to go through the photos from the trauma, but I have. I have a picture of myself, my grandfather, and my grandmother. It was these photos are from my elementary school graduation, and I have a picture of the throne, the bush that he carved into a throne. He carved into a chair, but hell, y'all like thrones, so he carved into a throne. So I've been around thrones all my life. I have been around thrones all my life. That's probably why I love this recliner. I wanted a recliner one year for Mother's Day. Wanted a red couch and a recliner. I'm sitting here looking at my red couch and my recliner that I got. My mom was like, let's get her this recliner, right? So anyway, grew up around thrones. So damn, I love that. Thank y'all for letting me go down that path. But don't turn back. There we go. Don't turn back. If something is leading you for all the right reasons, we talked about reasons yesterday. If you hear me adding on all the right reasons, we talked about reasons yesterday. If something is heading you in the right direction for all the right reasons, don't turn back. Think about it. You got to learn how to, if you want to think about qualifying, not misqualifying, but if you want to qualify or quantify this thing of life that you're on, you got to figure out where are you? Are you in the pack with all of us? Some of us, the rest of us, or the 9%, the 1%, who's got what you need? Who has what you need? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you. I wrote that down. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you. Let's take the fear out of it, right? One of the sessions and one of the podcasts that we did was called Don't Fear If. Go back and find that. You can find them. I'll try and go back to on the other platforms and edit and add that into it. If you follow on the podcast platform, you'll see that we do tweak the title to go with the topic. Misqualifying and disqualifying. Too often you are misqualifying because you're looking for the wrong qualifiers. You're looking for the wrong qualifiers, and at the beginning of the day, if you don't do it at the beginning of the day, you'll get to the end of the day realizing that you have made some mistakes. How many of you have ever been in a room with some people and you leave and then later on you find out who they are? How many of you going to a networking event have passed somebody in the parking lot or in the hall or in the elevator, and then you get inside and I know this is a thing, especially here in Atlanta, because people don't like to make eye contact. They don't want to, networking. When I go to an event, like say for instance, I went to a networking, I went to a networking a couple weeks ago, both parking in the parking lot. I'm like, and I greeted, I'm like, hi, how you doing? Because I know we're going to the same place. Don't wait till we get inside. And then you can't realize, oh, they got what I need. But you can't say nothing because you were just ruining the parking lot, right? We do that, okay? So don't misqualify and don't disqualify. Just be open, y'all. Be open. It's about your behaviors. And your behaviors speak for you long before you open your mouth. Your behaviors, whether you're making eye contact, whether you're smiling, whether you're greeting people, whether you have offered service, people are witnessing, forever witnessing, constantly witnessing who you are with, especially now that we have social media. Please don't think that people are walking up on you and that you're total strangers. Like, I tell you this because every time I go somewhere and somebody's trying to introduce me, every time. And I love to go in places. I love to try and find places where nobody knows me, right? Because then I get to be somebody different. I might be like, I want to do something different now. Now I get to introduce that. But if you know me, or you know, okay, I've done this, I've done that, and then you're probably like, well, dang, how you gonna do this? But if you know I did well at that, I did well at that, I'm gonna do well at this, right? And the train is rolling. You want to get on board, but you need to know that it is only your behaviors. If you can't get out of bed, if you are blessed with a new day and the sun is coming through yonder window and you can't get started, I know you've probably been through some things and it's hard. And today might not, look, just because I say you got to get out of that bed, this might not be the podcast. Take as much time as you need. Don't get out too soon. Because I'm telling you, I try to do it too soon. And if you do it too soon, you will hit a wall and be right back. But if today is the day, don't fear if, okay, don't fear if, but if today is the day that you need to get out of that bed, hopefully you've heard something. If you didn't hear it in this one, on the same platform you're hearing this, there are others, go back. But don't do this. Don't misqualify. Don't disqualify. Don't misquantify. Don't disquantify. Okay, be open because you never know from where your help may come. You never know, right? And I mean, I don't want to have to reiterate any of that. I just want you to know, if you've been given the day, you can make it yours. If you have been given the day, you can make it yours. And I know FOGO, fear of missing out, fear of going out, it's all that. I know some people are probably at work like, man, in fact, hey, listen, go do it on your lunch hour. Go see if you got some vacation days. PTO, paid twice opportunities, right? Use that time. If you need to call up that family leave, let me tell you, if you need to get out of work, people are like, oh Lord, drivers, don't tell them that. Let me tell you, if you need family leave, if you need to leave, you can call the family leave thing and they will tell you you can leave right now. You can literally leave right now. If you are burnout, if you got really seriously some other things to do, you can call them and they'll tell you now that you have called, you can go right now. But you only have X amount of time to prove why you need to be out, right? So they're gonna tell, first thing they're gonna tell you was paperwork will be in the mail or email. Go to the doctor, go wherever you got to go, get that paperwork signed off of. And even if you can't do that and say, oh, I only needed a couple of days, going back to work, guess what? The job is right there. But you got to make those calls. You got to do those things first. You got to do those things first. And I only tell you that because somebody told me, they was like, okay, you look like you falling in that hole. You're going to fall. There's a hole up ahead and you're going to fall in that hole. You need to do this. Here's what you can do in the position that you are in. And this is another angel came to me. It looked like you're going through something because there's evidence you're going through something because you're slipping. Here's what you have available to you if you don't know. Don't fear if. And I didn't know. Wait, I got this, and that. Okay, here, you're going to take this leave. You're going to do this. This is before I went out fully to take care of my mom. You're going to take this. You're going to do this. You're going to call this. And boom, go do what you got to do. So that when you get on the other side of this, you have your sanity. So that there is an other side of this. Otherwise, it's going to take you out. It's going to take you out. It's a hard road. It's a long, my dad even told me it's a long road. It's a long road. And then I started to remember, wait, Dad's been through this, because we don't know. You don't know. Even though you've seen somebody else go through something, you don't know it's like yours. I don't know what that is about our world, but there are these walls and these barriers and these peripherals and that we have that we can't see, even though and the sad part about it is it doesn't even look or feel familiar. And I think that's something, I think it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Otherwise we all be running around here in bad shape, right? So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a miraculous thing that is how the body works. The mind works, right? All these things that work without our consciousness, right? It's amazing. It's miraculous. It's miraculous how this thing works. All right, y'all, 4 minutes over an hour. We got to get off here. Some days are going to be long like that. Some days are going to be good. Some days I'm going to be so giving. But listen, I'm going to get ready to go. Like I said, there's more. Yesterday we did our wrap up of Michelle Obama Day when Michelle Obama came to Atlanta and did the intimate conversation with Michelle Obama. Let me tell y'all, even though we have had our first lady for the past 10 years or more, we still don't know Michelle Obama. That is amazing. Go get the book, Becoming Michelle Obama. Number one book out, number one memoir out there. Go get it, y'all. This sister, absolutely fearless, just absolutely all amazing and down to earth. I hate when people say down to earth. But in that, because you know they're going to be billionaires probably by the end of the year, right? But I'm just saying, the 9%, I'm certainly not going to put her in the 30% because she was first lady. She is, as she said, a Princeton educated Harvard attorney. And best-selling book deals, movie distribution. Is it not distribution deal? It's a development deals. We got to get on that. Black folk got to get on that distribution side of things too, right? But y'all didn't like the black streaming services, so somebody said, well, black people they over there shaming their own content, so let's go ahead and create one for mainstream. So yeah, I'll say that too, because I used to have one of those streaming services. But anyway, the 9%, they're definitely in the 9%. Thank God they're not in the 1% because they still care about the rest of us. That is your qual. Don't misqualify. All that she said and did, I captured some of it. People are inboxing me. Did you get this part? Did you get that part? Well, they are. One of the reasons I ain't posting everything. I understand y'all think I bootleg everything, but they did record this. It is going to be something probably within their own Netflix, because one of the things when they were in the White House, one thing they had to do was to filter our first lady and censor our first lady. So a lot of the speeches that she gave, they were not online. There was a day specifically where they began to mute the first lady, simply because of all the backlash, But this lady, anointed, appointed, Michelle Obama, oh my God, it's just insane, y'all. She's brilliant, brave, fearless. I mean, OMG. Okay. And still one of us. Ooh, write that down. One of us, right? I think we can all say, of all of us, she and Barack Obama and her family, they're still one of us. They're still one of us. And those that were in the arena that night watching her interaction with Gayle King, we knew like Gayle King is not one of us, right? And I hate to say that. I love her sister. Y'all know Gayle King is a mentor in my head, a sister in my head. And I don't even have to qualify her with the Oprah side. I don't even do the Oprah stuff like that, right? So I don't even have to quantify or qualify her by Oprah, because I've been a follower of Gayle King and her works. And what y'all don't know is there was probably 3 or 4 of them in the beginning. I love, let me not use that bad word. I love things that start. I love things from their beginning. And I remember there were 3 of them. One out of Atlanta, Gayle, Oprah, and my girl, and Angela, who's on Twitter, who you should provide some amazing news content for Dryer Buzz. She's back doing that. She's reconnected. I remember them, and these were the black women who were considered the first in your local news kind of thing, that they were the first given the major deals to be in news, anchor women, the first. And we don't know where to go. I'm not gonna say nobody or nobody's, we don't know where to go to celebrate them. But Gayle and Oprah, Monica Kaufman, Angela, and she says her name in 3 names, and I'm trying to remember it, and I should know it. Angela Davis. She says her middle name because her name is Angela Davis. Now I remember. She says her middle name. So I don't want you to think the Angela Davis, but there was one Angela Davis that was and pioneering. I think we've lost one. We lost a couple of them at this time, but me being a blogger, I looked to the history of these women. Once I decided I wanted a media platform, those were the women that I had to turn and learn from, turn and learn people. And so Gail is part of that. Oprah is part of that. Even though Oprah went off to own her own content and to make billions, they stayed in media, right? They stayed in. Oprah became an owner. They stayed in the jobs, basically. It boils down to that. But they all were there together. And so I followed Gail throughout her career. But when she was up there with Michelle Obama, you could tell that Michelle Obama was still one of us, right? And so even though Oprah and Gail may be still in the 9%, well, Gail's not a billionaire, so therefore she might be top tier 30%. But because of her association, she can be put into the 9%. See how I quantified and qualified that? You have to. You have to, based on how you see life, right? So let me get ready to get out. Let me get out of here. Don't turn back. So I can read this from top to bottom. One of us, all of us, is based on our behaviors. Whether you are one of us or all of us, it's based on your behavior. Your behaviors are your deciding factor, right? Disqualifiers, misqualifiers, get out the way. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you for the rest of us, and then some of us, and don't turn back. I don't know why I wrote don't turn back up there. I don't know why don't turn back up there. I guess I'm gonna leave that don't turn back. But I really love the I really want to say all of us. But no, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna call this podcast. Don't turn back. How to get out of bed sounds good. I'm gonna leave that. I like that as a title. Get out of bed and don't turn back. Because that's the thing. Like, you know how you get out of bed and you try to take just try today. Just take a couple of steps away from the bed. Just stand there and let your body reorient itself, and just don't turn back. Don't go back. Don't get back in it, right? I came in here and sat in the chair and I'm like, wait, and I put my feet up. I'm like, wait, this is comfortable. And I still proceeded with the podcast. Just don't turn back. Just today. Just try it one time. Just get up and don't turn back. A year ago, last year, I got out of bed and I went into the kitchen. And I can't tell you the gravity and the weight that was on me just coming down the hall to the kitchen. And I was standing in the kitchen and I'm like, what am I going to do? What do I do? What do I do? And something said, go live. And I went live and I said, y'all, here's what I look like. Here's what trauma looks like. Here's where I am. And I remember going into the fridge to get let me get something to drink. We're going to see if I can stay live. And I was frustrated because my fridge needed cleaning out, because you got to imagine, if I had been in bed, I neglected some things. I was neglecting me. Hey, Glory. I was neglecting the house. I was neglecting, some things. And clearly neglecting cleaning out the fridge. The very first live thing that I did in the kitchen was me cleaning out the fridge. And when I got ready to clean out the fridge, I was in that rage. I was throwing it all out. And I was like, wait a minute. I shouldn't throw this out. I should make something. I wonder what we can make with this. And I asked on camera, what could I make with this? And everybody came with, oh, you could do this, and you could do that, and you could do this. And I think somebody, either Jason or Chef in Pearls or Raul or somebody, jumped on live with me right there on Facebook and said, hey, put it in the pan. You got to pay. I see that pan over there. And grab this and grab that. Let's do this. Let's make this. It probably had been Jason. And I think it was Jason. And Jason was like, do this and go ahead, take that onion, cut that part off and chop that up and da-da-da-da. And next thing you know, I was cooking. Good morning. And then I said, well, let's do this again. And I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again. And because prior to the kitchen, I had tried to do it before. I created a workspace, and I tried to get back to work. And I became overwhelmed. Welcome back. Thanks for sharing, the artist. I became overwhelmed and I ended up back in bed because I have a beautiful workspace over here. I put up some artwork, I cleaned it off. It was stacked 3 stacks high of mail. I cleaned it off, bare desk, and I started adding things back. I'm gonna put my favorite books. I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna put my favorite books. I'm gonna hang some pictures, some art, put a couple of sayings and all that. Got my chair, But then, and I'm like, I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to get back to work. And then I had the issue with GoDaddy screwing up the website and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I ain't ready. I'm just not ready. And I ended up back in the bed. But then when I got out of bed and I did that, I just stood up and I said, okay, I'm not turning back. I'm not getting back in that bed. And I went into the kitchen, and lo and behold, in the kitchen with dryer buzz is a thing today. And it's only literally a year, 1 year. If you see that very first video in that very first kitchen, and here's the blessing about it was, as soon as I started, I was like, I'm going to make this a thing. The kitchen ended up getting a remodel. I was like, they sent a notice like, oh, we redoing the kitchen. Because I had downsized, and I'm like, I don't want to, I just don't want, I didn't want anything, y'all. But when you allow yourself to be, don't fear if, and when you don't turn back. When you don't turn back, a way will be made for you. And as I'm only telling you this in my own hindsight. I'm only telling you this because when I go on my Facebook or my YouTube and it says, hey, here's what happened last year, or this video. I've had a lemonade that's gone viral, a lasagna that went viral, a peach pie that went viral. And I'm like, a year ago, I didn't even know how to make either of those things. Think about that. I didn't know nothing about making no lemonade. I certainly wasn't baking no cobblers, okay? I wasn't making homemade lasagna from scratch. Fresh cheese. Honey, we've been buying Stouffer's for 20 years. What do you mean you now making it from scratch? I was sitting there the other day eating lasagna, and I put that lasagna in my mouth, and every bite, it was just heaven. I literally ran in there and whipped up a lasagna the other day. I'm like, who are you? And when I put that lasagna in my mouth, and I'm like, man, this is just so good. And it hit me that I had made everything. I made homemade pasta. I chopped up all those vegetables, all because of that day. When I said I was trying to decide if I had had enough of life, and I ended up in my kitchen. I turned on my live stream, and Jason Hodge out on the west coast of the West Coast wasn't so busy that he could stop his day and look in on a sister and say, let's do this. Let's cook this, right? And now here I am. I just made a jar of sauce yesterday. Everybody's like, can I have a little bit of the sauce? Can I have a little bit of the sauce? I'm like, y'all ain't taking my sauce in here, And today I'm gonna be making. I'm not doing it in the kitchen because we wait on season 2 to start. And I made this before. We just making homemade pizza. So everybody's coming home today and gonna make their own pizza from a dough, which I should have put my dough on last night, but I didn't. So I'm gonna go in here after I get done with y'all. I'm gonna whip up the dough, put the dough, let the dough rest. I'm about to go in here and whip up some freaking pizza dough, y'all. Hear me when I say that. I'm going in this kitchen and make my own pizza dough. Because now I know I can because I tried. And now everybody's like, Mom, what day are you making pizza? Who are you to be asking me that, right? So I'm getting ready to go in here. I made the sauce yesterday because I wanted my sauce to be a day old so that all those flavors will be in there. And now I'm going to make my pizza dough so it could rest for hours because the more you let it rest, the better it's going to be. And then tonight, everybody's going to just pinch off that pizza dough and make their own flatbread pizza with homemade sauce, fresh vegetables, sausage, Italian sausage, anchovies, bell pepper, onion. I wish I had a little bit of red pepper. What else I got in there? Pepperoni. All that is in the fridge right now. Okay? All that is in the fridge right now. Something months ago I would not have been able to say. And I get that from my mama because we'd always have pizza night and make homemade pizzas. But we have the dough for the thing. Don't turn back, y'all. Don't turn back because you're living. Somebody's going to witness you trying. Somebody's going to witness you overcoming, and it's going to help somebody else, right? Become one of us so that you can help all of us, even if it's just some of us that get it. Don't worry if only some of us get it. Stop trying to wait for everybody to get it. Everybody's not going to get it, y'all. Stop it. Go out there, look on your social media. This is an exercise for the day. As you get to monitor your social media, your behaviors, your friends' behaviors, your family behaviors, your coworkers' behavior, look and see how many people are waiting on everybody. Why are you waiting on everybody? I can write down here 100%, 60, 30, 9, and 1. 60%, 30%, 9%, 1%. Everybody's not going to get it. Everybody don't get How to Get Out of Bed podcast. It ain't for everybody, right? I got umpteen podcasts out there. This one ain't for everybody. People are like, well, is there just a podcast? No. How to Get Out of Bed. I put How to Get Out of Bed. I have 3 podcasts on my podcast platform. I have one that Sounds in the City, Sounds from in the City with Dryer Buzz. I have one where I come on and talk about the food, like all that food I should talk about. I need to go talk about that because I'm trying to do a food podcast because as many food podcasts out there, they're all experts. They're not people who just trying food, right? So I'm going to do food, but it's called Buzz It or Bash It. The podcast, if you want to look for it on your platform that this is a part of, it's called Buzz It or Bash It with Dryer Buzz. And the How to Get Out of Bed is on there. The Becoming Michelle Obama podcast is on there. The Sounds in the City is on there. And then Buzz It or Bash It when I want to say, hey, listen, Buzz It or Bash It, this or that happened and so forth and so on. Okay? So you can check that out and enjoy it. Oh, listen, I couldn't do any of this. I cannot do none, y'all. Hear me when I say this. Hold on, let me bring it up. Wait a minute. Okay, I got to bring... Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Let me get my... I was trying to call. Oh, Jesus, I tell you. Let me bring it up. There we go. I was hitting the wrong thing. Okay, I got to bring this up here. All right. I cannot do any of this without all the supporters. If you're trying to qualify me, if you're trying to quantify how I do this podcasting, live streaming, in the kitchen, all of that by fully reimbursing expenses elsewhere. How do I do that? I pitch. I'm pitching the kitchen. I'm pitching the podcasting. And I'm getting some yes, even though I get a whole bunch of no's. I'm getting some very wonderful yeses. And one of those yeses is through Natural Soap by Zakia. One of the reasons I can get out of bed each morning because I luxuriate in natural soap. Natural soap, the aromatherapy of natural soap, feeling cleaner longer of natural soap, having more time on my hand because I don't have to scrub the bathroom because natural soap rinses clean just amazingly. And not only that, I get to watch my soap being made live online. I get to watch my boxes being shipped online, all of that. I get to monitor all this stuff and enjoy it and support people that I've come to know through the support. She has definitely turned me as a follower into a lifetime customer. And I was like, Zakia, I got to tell everybody about this. And then she goes, well, hey, I got an incentive program. And if you want to monetize your podcast, go over to Natural Soap by Zakia. Become an ambassador, become an affiliate. And that way you can get a wonderful discount code like I have to tell my listeners that they can use their discount code and save 10% when they enter Dryer Buzz in the checkout. Make sure you enter Dryer Buzz so that you can save 10% on your order because I know that y'all are rushing over there. Y'all are getting that amazing 4-pack. We're waiting on a box. In fact, I'm going to go to the mailbox tomorrow. I think I should have it tomorrow. I'll track it. So you get to track your box. So we got an unboxing coming up that we're going to do here soon where I'm going to show you guys some additional products because you already know my favorite product is the 4-pack sampler because as I watch her making all these different soaps, I'm like, oh, I want to try that one and I want to try that one and I want to try that one. So I like the 4-pack sampler, but I have to get 2 of the 4-pack samplers because by the time the box makes it from the mailbox to the house, everybody's gone in like, I want this bar and I want that bar. And these are your personal sampler pack includes your personal travel size bars. So for those of you that are traveling this summer, you try to figure out what's going to get through TSA, you want to get the sample size bars. And then that way you have just enough to use while you're traveling. You ain't got to worry about packing it back up. Listen, go get it. You want the full size bars, your own personal bars, because you ain't sharing no bars. So If you're that person, you bathe in all of your whole entire body, not those people that are leaving out their legs. I'm like, what in the world is that? When you lather up with natural soap by Zakia, you're gonna want to put it on every part of your body, and you don't have to worry about your eczema, dry skin, and all of that because it's got the most amazing. It's natural, handcrafted, made from some of the best oils out there, so you ain't got to worry about I can't wash my arms because of my eczema or because I don't like to be ashy. No customer of Natural Soap by Zakia is ashy. In fact, pretty much no lotion needed. Now, if you're a long time customer, hold on. If you let me excited for my 4-pack, yes. Let me tell you, if you're a long time customer, now not if you're a new customer. If you're a new customer, your skin has got to get adjusted, so you may still want to use some lotion. But if you're a long time customer, you're looking at your skin going like, oh my God, what is this? Where did I get this glistening, this shine from? Right? It's because you moisturized. I'm just saying. And you can use it from head to toe. Like I don't like having all that stuff in my shower. The shampoos, the conditioners, and all this kind of stuff, right? I like having my natural soap by Zakia. So go to Natural Soap by Zakia. Now I have a referral link, but we're on the podcast. So we got 2 ways to let her know you came from Dryer Buzz, and that is put Dryer Buzz. Listen, don't just tell her I sent you. She's going to give you an incentive because I sent you. Put Dryer Buzz in your checkout. You're going to save 10% on your soap. And they will continue to support how to get out of bed. Listen, before you get in that bed at night, whether you're a nighttime bather or a morning time bather, if before you get into bed you like to shower or luxuriate in a bubble bath, you got the bath bombs, all that kind of stuff, go and get your natural soap. If you're like me, you wake up, you need something extra, you got to go get in that hot shower, and then you open up your Luscious Lemon Whip soap, and then that scent goes all throughout the house, and everybody want to know if you're eating cereal. You're like, no, I'm not. This is not Fruity Pebbles. I'm in the shower. They want a mom. You know, like kids are, mom, what you eat? Mom, you got cereal? Mom, like, I'm in the shower. Mom, you eating cereal in the shower? No, it's the soap. Well, Mom, do we have any cereal? You're grown. I don't care. Leave me alone. Get out. I'm like, really? Did you just bust up in my bathroom to see if I'm in here? Because, yeah, okay, once upon a time, I would hide in the bathroom and enjoy a fudge pop or something. You know, my ice cream. You know, you got to get away from your kids. I was a mom. You know how they are. I mean, these kids are grown. I still can't have a moment. I'm like, why would I be eating cereal in the bathroom? Like, really? This is soap. It's Natural Soap by Zakia. Mom, what? I'm trying to take a shower. Mom, what kind of soap? What bar did you get? Well, what didn't you get a bar? Like, really? Come on. Give me a break. I'm like, go. You know the website. Natural Soap by Zakia. Don't wait till I order. Order your own. I'm running out. Mom, we're getting a box from Zakia. Are you getting a box from Zakia? Do you even know how much the soap costs? This is natural handmade soap, right? It ain't cheap. I'm just saying. But use your discount code, right? Treat yourself, right? And the prices are really good, though. For natural handmade soap that you get to watch her make and then it's shipped to you, the prices are really good, okay? And you feel good. I get out of bed good because I got that Luscious Lemon. I'm just saying, y'all. But these kids, I'm telling, they grown, y'all. And they still trying to know what mama got. Why? Lord, gee, y'all done got my blood pressure up thinking about them children. But Natural Soap by Zakia, again, thank you so much for all you do and all your support. And also some additional supporters we have coming on for the new season of How to Get Out of Bed. Y'all, this is a long one. We usually do a long one on Mondays and Wednesdays. Like I said, every other day. You know, we have a lot to talk about, a lot to share because we're glad to be out of bed. So I need you to do me one more favor as you get ready to head out and take on your day. Don't forget, if you're catching this, you want more, whatever platform you are enjoying this one, there are more. Just swipe to the page, the profile, the bio, and you're going to see more. But I just need, again, that one more favor.
Go now to dryerbuzz.com and follow @dryerbuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.